Hello, world. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jonathan Abu, and I'm here with Shaun Lynda of Financially Clean Nonprofit and the Two Black Guys with Good Credit podcast. You may have heard of them. And I'm here with the illustrious Chizi Duru, who needs no introduction.
Oh, don't do that. Don't even do that.
And yeah, today we're talking about financial literacy. But I know these guys. Well, I knew Chizi for a little bit before this, but I met Shaun at the Fulfill Your Project Day event through the P96 Summer Experience, right? And they're both wonderful panelists. So how did you enjoy that? How did you like that?
I thought it was an amazing event. I mean, I love doing speaking engagements just because it allows me to kind of connect with my audience and just people that I may have never met before, just like how I met Shaun at the event. And you get to connect, collaborate, network, share knowledge. So I mean, it was a great event for me.
Right.
Did you strategically put us beside each other because the energy was so dynamic? We were trying to whisper during the panelists of different ideas. I was like, it was just done on purpose, but it was great to meet. Like, I didn't even realize till I got home when she added me to Instagram. I was like, whoa, she's huge.
She's not.
And it was really an experience. And then yourself, to see how you were able to control the crowd and organize. It was just a great event with young people. It was great to connect with them.
And you're a whole model.
And see. And see like their career path, their career choice, and understand. And I just felt like, hey, I need to do a little bit more with these young people and really give them the teachings of financial literacy, because with their energy and their drive and the connection, if I can just couple it with some financial literacy, there's no telling where they can go.
And this guy, intellect level, he's like the Neil deGrasse Tyson of like credit. So don't play around with Shaun. And it was really cool. So Fulfill Your Project actually put that event on. And Fulfill Your Project, I'm going to introduce it for a little bit, but it is essentially a brand that provides a platform for you to fulfill your project through creativity and innovation. So it's more so a rhetoric, a mantra. So if you have a dream, you have a goal, you have a project to fulfill, go do it. As simple as that. And we are not just talkers, right? So we had an event and it was wonderful, but we want to have a follow-up, something to say that we're getting something tangible out of this. So we're putting on a free 12-week program to teach you, the average person, to teach us about financial literacy. Shaun, I mean, if you don't mind, I'll start with you because you do have two black guys with good credit. Wonderful.
Two, right?
I'm working
Jonathan,
on mine.
you got good credit?
I'm working on it, right? It's almost there. But Shaun, you run this podcast and it's doing really well. It's hitting really good numbers. And you also have a nonprofit called Financially Clean. So can you tell me about those two things and kind of what you do?
Well, just to step back a little, my co-founder and I, Dion Nichols, we saw the need that we just felt that young African Americans, more importantly, weren't getting the financial understanding and financial literacy that they need to succeed in life, and they were starting off what I would say behind the eight ball, regardless of their level of education. So I just thought that this would be a good way to even the playing field, because I truly believe, even with myself personally, had I known what I know now, I'd be that much further. And that's the whole point of the program, is to provide you with the resources and the tools and understanding to make you succeed in life and do what you choose to do, what your God-given dreams are to do in life and fulfill your life goals. Just have a solid financial plan that will support that.
So Shaun and Chizi, thank you for coming, joining us in this conversation. Chizi, I'm gonna start with you, right? Because you're like this wonderful being, this queen, this empress, all of that. And you also run a wonderful brand, and that's you, the Chizi brand, right? So, and you're an entrepreneur. So talk to me, how does financial literacy relate to your business? Like, is that important? Is that not?
I mean, it's basically everything, right? I know for me, when I first came out of college last year, oh wait, it wasn't even last year, it was 2 years ago. Oh my God, time is going by too fast.
I want to tell you what year I graduated.
No, but when I came out of college, I got a degree in biology. So it's like I was taking science courses and whatnot. I never really learned about financial literacy, never even took an accounting course, like 101. And then even if we want to go back to high school, middle school, no one was ever, I don't know about you guys, but I was never taught about financial literacy.
It's almost like they do it on purpose, right? But more on that.
We can graze over that. But it's everything, because now that I'm kind of full blown into this influencer entrepreneurial business, I have to manage my own finances, because I mean, I'm getting all these different streams of income through brands and stuff, but like who's managing it? Me. So I had to really learn those skills because I didn't know anything about money.
Exactly. Like you gotta. Like I remember you talking about like how do you leverage labor costs? Like who comes up with that number, right? So that understanding is very necessary,
Yeah.
right? Sean, you run this wonderful podcast, this nationally ranked podcast with hundreds of thousands of views, listens, I should say. Two black guys with good credit. So can you tell us why it's important to have good credit or to just be financially literate in general?
Well, one thing I can say about the younger generation, you guys are very enthusiastic, you're goal-driven, and you're entrepreneur-driven as well. But one thing I always say, the point of the program, why I created, is really to provide information that I wish I had at your age, and how to leverage your resources. You may not think you have any resources, but how do you leverage your resources? How do you leverage your credit? How do you leverage your finances to grow your worth? And to be able, at the end of the day, I believe the success of financial literacy is to be able to do what you want when you want.
Yes.
And then leave something for the next generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I definitely think you guys all have the tools and the ability to do that. And by the time you guys figure it out, sometimes it's too late, or you have so much catching up to do because your credit is bad, you're in so much debt, and you're like, oh, it all clicks together. I wish, and everybody always says, I wish we did this. That's why the program is a proactive approach. It's not a reactive approach, meaning that I'm not a credit fixer. I don't want to be that person. I want to manage young people like yourselves and teach you guys how to get ahead and how to succeed in this life and build wealth and just be responsible for your own fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times, at least I remember in the past, I was like, I wish I knew that when I was younger. If I knew then what I know now. So essentially what I'm trying to say is the future is now, right? So the future we're thinking about in the past is right now. So I strongly encourage you to go ahead and sign up for this program. Chizi, is it possible to do what you do without being financially literate?
Yeah, you'll just be broke.
Taking advantage.
And let's get it right, because there are a lot of broke influencers out here because you just don't know how to manage your money, right?
Mismanagement of resources.
Mismanagement of resources. Like sometimes you can get a campaign and it'll pay you $5K, right? But you may not get another campaign for another 3 months. So you got to learn how to budget that money for those 3 months. So yeah, it's possible, but you can very well be broke.
So Sean, how do you like approach this class, right? Is it like, do I have to know anything about my credit? Do I have to?
Well, one thing I think what I do differently, and I'm giving out the secret to all the other people that teach financial literacy, is that I balance lifestyle with financial literacy. I don't think you can do like a one-day course just teaching finance and teaching credit and teaching bank accounts and all that kind of stuff. You have to understand the person's lifestyle and what their goals are, and then you build a plan around that. So the first question we ask in the class, you get your own textbook for free. Self-created.
Okay.
And the first question in the book, it asks us, write down what your goals are in life. And whatever they want. They don't have to be money driven, just generally what your goals are and what makes you happy. And then we build a plan around those goals. And you start seeing how finance supports those goals and connects those goals. And you see the importance of now maintaining credit. You see the importance of how to leverage, like Chizi's an influencer. How do I leverage that to produce additional income outside of influencing? How can I turn that into other avenues of creating revenue streams? Just like if you want to be a doctor, how can I create multiple revenue streams by being a doctor? Hey, you can own the building that you're practicing in. You can hire other doctors to work within your office. And then you're just an agent, basically, collecting rents, right? So it's working out those ideas, understanding, hey, I remember when I went to Fulfill Your Project, there was 2 people in the crowd that approached me that both want to be chefs. So I put them together and I literally held hands and said, you guys want to do the same thing. Why don't you guys look collectively to find your space and work together initially? So those type of things of really figuring out what your goals are and building a plan around. I think that's what makes my program unique and why people love it.
Hey, you run a nonprofit called Financially Clean, right? And clean is C-L-E-A-N. I could spell. What does that stand for?
Right. So it's an acronym, and that's what we base the course around. So C stands for credit. Hopefully one day maybe Chizi.
Chizi, right? C stands for Chizi. Right.
Now it stands
for now it's credit. We're gonna keep it credit for now.
And L stands for learning to live without, where we talk about your wants versus needs.
Right.
E stands for education, where we bring in the importance of education and finance.
Right.
And A stands for attention to detail, where you understand specific is how you're branding yourself and so forth. And then N stands for no shame in your game, meaning do what your chosen life gifts are, and let's build a plan around that.
Listen, I love that. No shame in your game.
Yeah.
So like I said, this is for anyone across the spectrum, whether you're in a 9 to 5, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're like a bit of a hybrid who has different things going on, you're
Has a little
freelancer.
side hustle on the side.
This is for anyone.
The word hustle is such a positive word nowadays.
Exactly.
I love that word.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I hope to see you there, right? We hope to see you there.
I mean,
So-
it's free. Did we mention that
Right,
part?
I think it's free, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how much does it cost?
Free.
Nothing? It's
No.
free.
$0 and 0 cents.
I
No
doubt it.
gimmick,
Right.
nothing. It's free. We
Right.
just want your attendance.
Just pull up.